this is Sabina at Cross Keys Crafts with the Visible Image Artist Trading Card Swap for August 2024, and the topic this month is Things with Wings. And I had a look through my stash. The obvious one would have been for me to use the robin from the Christmas robin set, but then I found this one here. We've got the birds here, we've got a feather with some bird silhouettes, we've got a single feather here, and then this sentiment, take your broken wings and learn to fly again. So I thought this would be perfect for that topic. And whilst I was thinking of what to create, so not to repeat myself, I've actually created an ATC on my channel with this stamp set here. I was slightly inspired, or actually massively inspired, by the ATC I received today in the post in return for this swap. And this is by Ali. I don't want to show it because I don't want to, infringe on any copyright here. But she used a lovely, what's it called, a dragonfly stamp set, and she used acetate for the wings, which looks absolutely amazing. So I thought, what media, what material can I use to make mine special? And then I remembered that I saw a few weeks ago on the Lavinia Facebook page that you can actually stamp on fabric. So I thought that's what I'm going to do for this ATC and for the card. I just picked 2 pieces of scrap for well, I needed some plain fabric, and it has to be cotton, I believe. And these were the only 2 fabrics I had. So this is like a beigey colour, and I just stamped in brown on it. And this is obviously white, and I stamped in blue. I stamped in the VersaFine Clair. The brown one is the pine cone, and this one is the bluebell. And the idea is actually, after you've stamped and let it dry, to heat set this. With an iron, ideally. This one definitely needs ironing, but I'm a bit impatient. I just put my heat tool on this a little bit. I think this is fine because it's not going through the wash, the ATC. This one I think I will use for the extra card then to go with this ATC. So I'm not bothered about it, but you can heat set it and then you can actually wash it. I've read. Anyway, I haven't tried it yet. So what I want to do just tonight, I will continue the card in the morning, is I thought I cut this out and I would like to get a bit of a, what's the word, like a tear on it. What's the word I'm looking for? It'll come back to me in a second. So I actually had to check from the German. My brain had totally gone. The word I was looking for, fray. I would like to fray the edges here. So what I'm doing is I'm just cutting this out fairly closely to the image. I'm not even sure how well this fabric frays, but I hope it does, because I think this would look really, really cool. So already cut in the fabric, but it doesn't matter because it won't reach the image. Okay, and now my idea was just to come in with a needle and just to pull these threads out. I will actually put something underneath just to protect my surface a little bit. So, and I hope that works. I'm not quite sure how much I can fray this. Let me actually zoom in because you can't see what I'm doing. I might have to go a bit closer to the image. Yeah, I have to cut that a bit closer. I quickly do this off camera. So I've cut this closer to the edge, and I'm also changing my tool. I think I need something a bit rougher. So I'm just using my tweezers to go in here and to pull out the threads. So if I've got something like that, I might actually be able to pull that out a little bit, cutting a little bit. I'm not quite sure how rough I want it. I even use my fingernails, but you get the idea of this. It'll probably be a bit of a labour of love, but I think, yeah, I think you get the idea. So I will continue this off camera, and then I think I'll call it a night. But for you, obviously, it will just be a few seconds, and I will come back in the morning to this project. I can't let it be. It's still night time. I just frayed this piece. I think it's lovely the way it's frayed. So I thought, I've got ideas for the background. I might just as well continue. What I want to do is with this stamp here, the birds here, I would like to do some, I don't know if you call it faux bleaching, but I would like to put ink down and then stamp it off again with a stamp. I just want this as a background, not as a very distinctive or image. So I'm not too bothered how perfect this is going to be, but for the effect I need to put plenty of ink down, and that's why I'm using the dark denim. It's a dark ink, so just blending this all over. I've recorded already a few other videos, so I hope I've got enough storage on my phone. As I said, this wasn't planned to be finished tonight, but I've got the mojo at the moment, so I might just as well do it. By the way, the piece of card I have here, it's bigger than the actual ATC. I like to create a bigger piece and then cut it down. I find that easier than working on the very small piece. So I think this is dark enough. I'm just testing this. Yeah, I think this is very nice. So I think I will use my stamping platform. I'll have a little thing, or maybe just an acrylic block. Bear with me whilst I set this up. So it's still late at night. I couldn't let this be. I worked a little bit on it and also recorded it, but the technique I wanted to try did not quite work. I tried to do some faux bleaching with these birds here. But I think the image is too small. I think the cardstock is not the right cardstock. It didn't quite work out. So I just used my baby wipe just to get a bit of pattern on here. I beforehand, so I will have all edited this out now, I just did some ink blending with a dark denim. So my idea is to just create a little bit of a background, is to just stamp this with a dark denim rather than stamping it with a VersaFine Clear. I just need to close my craft room door. Bear with me. Yeah, I could just hear my husband return, so I didn't want him to interrupt my filming. So, yeah, I'm just stamping with a dark denim, so this will not give the super defined look that you get from the VersaFine Clear, but it will be a nice image, I think. And I'm just using the other side of this cardstock. It's still a little bit damp from when I did the faux bleaching, or try to do the faux bleaching, but I'm just stamping with this now, and I will cover the faux bleaching area with the fabric anyway. So yeah, so you really get just a subtle look. It's almost sort of blending into the background. That's what I wanted. Maybe I could have chosen a slightly lighter color, because I would still like to add that sentiment, but I think I just leave this now to dry till the morning, call it a night after all, clean up a little bit, and then come back to this in the morning. So it is the next day, and my card has dried nicely. I sprayed it a little bit more yesterday after filming, because I wanted a little bit more of a diffused look, so that's why I ended up with a few specks over the birds, and I quite like this look now. I've already cut it down to 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches. This just about fits my feather here, so I'm really pleased with the way this looks now. I've had a few longer threads where the fabric was either going that way or going that way. I just cut those off, so I really like the distressed look of that. So all I want to do on the ATC is to stamp and heat emboss this word fly here from the sentiment set. I thought about first of all doing a bigger portion of the sentiment here, but it doesn't really fit much. I thought maybe I do put the wings there as well, but no, I just put fly. And I thought the fly would look nice just across here, so I'm just taking this off. I haven't glued this down yet because I want to be able to maneuver my stamping block on there. And what I've prepared here is I've just used my removable tape. You can use washi tape, and I've masked the words off that I don't want to stamp up. So I'm just getting my embossing powder ready. I think I want to emboss this in white, and then I'll show you how I do that. As always, when you heat emboss, use your anti-static powder first to make sure you don't have any excess anywhere else. So, and I'm inking up the fly with my Versamark. Sorry, I'm doing this a little bit off camera here on the edge. So making sure there's plenty on there. And after I've done that, I can take the tape off and stamp this here. So unless I've got any residue on the stamp itself, but I don't think I've ever used the stamp, can't remember now. I shouldn't have anything else there that could hold the embossing powder. So I've got my white embossing powder here in this box, so I just need to dip this in here. And there we go. There is a bit of excess, so I'm just taking a soft brush, if I can find one. I've got so many brushes here on the desk that need actually cleaning. So I've got a bit of excess here that I can just brush away. So, and I'm just heat setting this off camera now. I'm heating up the heat tool for about 30 seconds, and then I will heat this from the back first so that the powder doesn't fly away. I think that should be fine. A little tip for heat embossing small elements: use a peg to hold your card whilst you're heating it up so you don't burn your fingers. So this has heat embossed a bit. It's a bit of a grungy look. It's a bit speckled, but I don't mind that. That's the overall look of most of the visible image stamps anyway, so I don't mind that. So all I need to do now is to glue this down, and I think I will actually use a spray adhesive. Let me just show you what I've got. I've got this one here, so I can spray this on the back of this, place it down, and then press it down afterwards. I will do this off camera because I will do this on the side here. I will open my window because I don't want to inhale this. This is not healthy stuff, as you can see. So, and then I will come back and just show you the finished ATC. So my ATC and card are finished. You can see this is completely different colours, mainly because the fabric was a different colour and I was looking for something to match that. So I chose the Elements Lime Punch and the Elements Truffle here. I also stamped in the same colour. Here I stamped up the ink in both the colours, and this is just the green on top here. For this one here, in hindsight, I should have chosen maybe the same green there. This is a VersaFine Claire, oh, I call it a Cali green, I can't remember the colour now. But I already knew when I stamped it in green that I wanted some black on top anyway. So that pops a little bit. And because I used the black, I then decided to go round it, just blend it around this with the Distressed Oxide Black Soot, just to tie the black in a little bit. And I'm really pleased with this. Although I do prefer this colour scheme here, the blue and white. So 2 more little tips. When you use spray adhesive, I just sprayed these above my bin, within the bin liner, so there's no mess anywhere, because it's easy to spray, you know, over your whole surface or on anything you don't want to be sprayed with. And the second little tip is I'm a bit lazy when it comes to ironing, and this fabric needed ironing, so I just used my hair straightener. I just cut it out a little bit and then just used the hair straightener on a little bit, and that was so much less hassle than taking out my ironing board and my iron. So just a little tip for you. Yeah, I think these are really cool. This one didn't fray as well as this fabric either, so you don't have that much of an effect there. But even nicer for the recipient then to open this up and find this one here instead. Yeah, and if you like these cards, you might want to give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of what I'm creating, you might want to subscribe to my channel. I'd be very happy about that. And I'll see you soon with another video. I'm just quickly popping in with the final version of my cards. This one here I found too boring, so I thought I'd just add some gold splats. And I went a bit bonkers with that. They're all over, but they're lovely. These are the mirror paints. I'm going to link to them below if I don't forget. I bought these off eBay. They're not cheap, but they're absolutely fabulous. And after I'd done this one, I thought I might just as well do my ATC in silver. The other thing that you might notice is I had to cut this down a little bit on the top of the bottom. Reason being, I measured it wrong. I cut it to 3 3/4, and it was only when I wanted to put the mat on the back that I realised it was too high. So I just cut a little bit off here, a bit on the top, and just tried to fray the fabric a little bit. In hindsight, if I had measured it properly, I probably would have angled the feather a bit differently, so not to cut it off. But hey ho, this happens in crafting, and I think it's okay.